It has come to my attention that the fellas are now starting something where they're saying they're going to be financially celibate, meaning that they're not going to be spending any money on a woman until marriage. Okay? This is my thing. What woman in her right mind can you actually date and not spend no money on her until y'all get married? It's like y'all are saying, y'all are upset with women who are becoming celibate and saying, well, since y'all saying that y'all want to wait until marriage, we just ain't going to spend no money until marriage. A woman who got common sense and is not going to deal with no scrubby man, that's not going to work with. More and more, y'all come up with things to make y'allself more lonely. Y'all going to push the male loneliness epidemic even further with that foolishness. The women are making more money now. We're more independent. We're becoming more financially stable than men. And this is not to bash men or put men down. But y'all saying y'all ain't finna spend money on women no more like that. A lot of y'all already ain't spending money on women now because you don't have it to spend. Like, in all honesty, y'all want to be lonely. Y'all want to be in a position where you walking around angry because you can't really get the attention of a woman. And until you do all of the things that a man needs to do, which is provide, protect, and lead, y'all are going to be constantly having the same issues that y'all are having regarding women. That's it, and that's all.
Women are suddenly shaming men for choosing to be financially celibate in 2026, and the panic is obvious. For years, men were expected to provide, protect, plan, pay, and perform with zero guarantees and endless criticism. Now that men are opting out of the financial role altogether, the outrage isn't moral, it's logistical.
Ladies, if a man says he's financially celibate, how would you take that? Because to me, off rip, it sounds funny, but the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Because we all know in the dating world, a woman bases her worth for a man on how much he may really like her based off of sexual attraction. And a woman might go out with a guy and be like, you know what? I wonder if this guy really likes me, or does he just want to sleep with me? So she's not going to sleep with him at first, so she could try to gauge whether or not he really likes her or not. A man, his value is based off of his financial situation. So he could be like, you know what? Does this woman really like me? Is she jacking, or does she only like me for my money? Or is she only trying to go out on dates because she knows she's going to get a free dinner or drinks or whatever, but it's not going to go anywhere past that. So until I can figure that out, I'm financially celibate. But imagine that though. You're on like your third date and the man's like, yo, you know what? This is going really well. You're cool. I like you. But, you know, I'm still a little bit uncomfortable. I'm still trying to figure out where this might go. So until then, I pay my half of the meal. You pay yours. Like, that does sound wild, but it does make sense. And again, just so we're clear, I don't condone this. I think if a man asks a woman out, he should be paying the bill. But as far as understanding, it does sound funny, but there is some truth to it, and it does hold a little bit of water. But what do y'all think? You feel me?
Because financial celibacy isn't about being broke. It's about refusing to fund someone else's lifestyle.
Calling all men, especially if you agree with this comment, that you wouldn't want to be with a single mom, especially as a man with no kids. Okay, I would love to hear the reasons why. If you agree with this, if you agree with what he said, I would love to know what the fuck your deal is. So leave a comment, please explain. Don't just leave some bullshit. I need explanations of your reasons why. Like, it doesn't matter on the woman and her personality and like what she's got going on. Like, just, it's an automatic no if they have kids. Please tell me.
Men looked at the math. The dates, the expectations, the divorce stats, the emotional labor tax, the one-sided risk. And instead of arguing, they did the most disrespectful thing possible. They walked away quietly with their wallets intact.
Financial celibacy, it's the new thing that these young men are focusing on when it comes to dating. And as Unc, I just want to say I'm proud of y'all. We always hear women say, my body, my choice. Rightfully so. But as a man, you should be able to say, my wallet, my choice. Side note, you should also care about your body as a man. Don't just go around and sleep with anybody. Have respect for yourself as well. Now back to what I was saying. Your money's a part of your value. As a man, you had to get up and go earn that money. Get to know the woman that you're talking to before you decide to spend money on her. A lot of women hate to have conversations with you before you take them on a date. And it's not that they're worried about whether or not they're going to like you. They're worried about whether or not you're going to like them when you get to know them. Get to know her for who she is, beyond just what she looks like. Because sometimes that's the trick that gets you caught up. You're so caught up in how good she looks that you don't even take the time to get to know her as a person to see if you like her or not.
That's why the shaming started. Suddenly men are called cheap, scared, immature, selfish. Funny how restraint is only a problem when women lose access to it. When men spent freely, they were bare minimum. When men stopped spending, they became the problem.
I'm staying celibate in 2026. Unless the heavens open up and my wife comes down and falls into my lap, I'm not dating nobody. It's not worth it. My heart hurts. I don't want to do it anymore.
What really burns is that men are happier this way. No financial stress. No performance pressure. No funding situationships disguised as relationships. Just peace, savings, goals, and autonomy. And nothing enrages people faster than watching someone thrive after opting out of a system they were supposed to serve.
So you gonna give it up to all the other men, but you gonna make your fiance wait? Yes.
A lot of you fellas don't understand the concept of celibacy. Listen, if this woman has slept with 100 men, and all 100 men, after sleeping with her, it came to find out they only wanted her for her body, then wouldn't it make sense not to do it 101 times and try something different, like celibacy in a relationship, to try to see if it ends with a better result, like maybe marriage? So I get it. But with that being said, fellas, I also believe in men financial celibacy, because I also see a lot of men who are paying for dates after dates, flying women out, taking them on fancy trips, and all to find out at the end, those women aren't really interested in them. And they just wanted to bleed them dry of money and then bounce on to the next guy. So with that being said, fellas, I also believe men should not pay for anything outside of a few dates, and a lot of those dates being Dutch. And women should not feel obligated to give their body up just because they're going on a date with somebody. Celibacy for everyone across the board.
So the narrative flips. Real men provide. Translation: come back and resume payments.
Let's be honest. Marriage is officially the worst investment a man can make in 2026. We keep asking why men are staying single, but look at the actual cost-benefit analysis. He's expected to be the provider, the protector, and pay every single bill on time. And what does he get in return? A permanent roommate who's grumpy 6 days a week. We've reached a point where men are subs in their lifestyle for women who don't even like them. If a man ran his business the way he runs his marriage, he'd be bankrupt in a month. He's putting in 100% of the capital for a 1% return on intimacy if he's lucky. Since when did once a month become the standard for a high-performance partnership? Ladies, we can't demand traditional provision while offering zero traditional peace. Modern women want a CEO husband but offer the attitude of a disgruntled middle manager. Why would a rational man sign a contract where he loses half his assets if she gets bored? It's not fear of commitment. It's a basic understanding of a bad trade. We've priced ourselves out of the market and we're wondering why the buyers are leaving. If there's no peace, no intimacy, and no financial logic, what exactly is the benefit here?
But men already ran the numbers, and in 2026, financial celibacy isn't rebellion. It's strategy. And the more men choose solitude over subsidizing chaos, the louder the shaming gets.
This girl at work said something to me the other day, and I can't get it out of my head. Heard a baby around her. I was like, oh God, that's free birth control for me. And she's like, oh, that makes me think of my little baby. And I was like, yeah, I'm too selfish. I don't want kids. I have a dog. That's enough for me. A couple of days later, she's like, so you don't want kids, but you have a dog. Do you have a boyfriend or anything? And I was like, no, I've never had a boyfriend. She was like, how old are you? And I said, 27. She's like, and you've never had a boyfriend? And I never really cared. But there's something about her saying that it really hit me this time because, like, I've never been on even, like, 2 dates with the same person. Like, even guys I've talked to or, like, hooked up with, they'll slowly stop talking to me, and then I find out they have a girlfriend, or they get into a new relationship like a week later. And like when I was younger and I didn't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, I'd be like, it's because I'm fat. I used to weigh like 320 pounds. I lost 160 pounds. It's not like I'm being hit up every day, every week, even every month with like people in my DMs or like messaging me on Snapchat trying to get with me. It's like no one hits me up. It's not even like I'm being selective with who I'm picking and like turning people away. It's just like people aren't coming up to me, and I don't understand. Not like I have an issue with people like wanting to hook up with me, but if it tries to go a step further, they're like, absolutely not, no. I don't want to just like hook up with random people that I don't know, so I'll tell people that I don't want to hook up with them until I know them, and then they're like, well, you're a prude. I'm like, I literally can't win. Why it's like hitting me so hard this time is the fact that she had the audacity to ask by choice, and I just sit there and I'm like, no, it's not by choice. When I was younger, I was like, oh, it's because I'm fat. Oh, it's because I'm fat. Once I lose weight, I'll have no problem. And now that I'm like not fat, I'm just like, what is it? What is the reason? So now I'm gonna finish my energy drink and hit the gym until I can't feel my emotions anymore. Maybe that's the reason.
What makes it even more insulting is that men didn't announce this shift. There was no protest, no manifesto, no angry speeches. Men simply stopped over-investing. They stopped paying for access, stopped proving themselves through spending, stopped confusing generosity with obligation. And when the money dried up, so did the respect.
I got a question for the fellas, because I'm trying to understand the dynamic now and how all this got misconstrued. Why is it that men nowadays, when it comes to dating, they don't believe in pursuing a woman, aka chasing a woman? What is the big issue with a man pursuing a woman? I don't just mean you making the first move. I mean like you actively pursuing this woman, calling her, texting her, planning dates. Why is it now we're in this day and age where men are like, oh, you could call me, oh, I was waiting on you to call me, I was waiting on you to text me, I was waiting on you to make the first move? For what? Criticize me all y'all want, but I am an old-fashioned girly. I was raised by my grandmothers. I believe in the old school ways and how things are supposed to go. If you that type of man where you think you are the prize, honestly, this video ain't for you, because I believe that women are the prize, because we're the ones that get chose. We're the ones that get picked. When a man findeth a wife, a man findeth a good thing. And I'm not even the type of woman to sit up here and think that I'm equal to a man. I think that a man is most definitely above me. My husband is for sure above me. Your heavenly father, your husband, everything else immediately after that. I'm not the one to sit up here and try to say I'm equal to a man and we on the same. No, we not. A man is above me. My husband is above me. So let's get that clear and out the way. Boom. My biggest issue that I have in my dating life is men are so lazy. I was waiting on you to call me. I was waiting on you to text me. No, sir. You asked me for my number. I gave it to you. It's up to you to call me, check on me, see how I'm doing. You're trying to get me. This is my thing. I don't ever make the first move on a man. I let men come get me. You want me? Come get me. If a man really wants you, he's going to come get you. It's not nothing extra I gotta do. It's not, no. If you want me, you're going to come get me. And the lesson that I learned in my previous relationships was never let a man tell you he don't want you more than once. So when I give you my number and you don't call me or you do all that, that's basically telling me you don't want me. Y'all have no problem pursuing your education. You have no problem pursuing your career. You have no problem pursuing your goals. A house when you want a house, a car. So why is it y'all have an issue with pursuing a woman, a marriage? Because y'all are the ones that pick us for marriage. We don't pick y'all. Y'all get on one knee. This is why I don't date now. I ain't been on a date in a year. And that is exactly why. It's because I'm so sick of men. Oh, I was waiting on you to call me. Well, you're gonna be waiting until you dead. If you pay attention to like older couples that have like years in, yeah, she didn't really like me at first and she used to curve me and then I finally got her. Like, what happened to that? Y'all don't even want the pursuit of a good woman anymore. And I know I'm a good woman. Hell, I got a good career. I have ambition. I have goals. I have drive. I have things going for myself. I know how to treat a man when I have one. So what is the big issue with pursuing a good woman?
That's when the insults escalated. Low value, dusty, broke mindset. Because if shaming worked before, maybe it would work again. But it didn't, because men aren't trying to impress anymore. A man who isn't seeking approval is immune to name-calling.
Okay, so I just heard about the men being financially celibate. And it's like, you don't have to announce anything, right? You could just do what you want to do and then give women the option of proceeding to move forward with you or not. I think it's just really interesting because the problem that you men are not understanding is that you're not likable, you're not engaging. Going out with you is like it's an unpleasant experience most of the time. You don't know how to engage in meaningful conversation. And that's cool. That's why they say most women, I think they said like 70 or 80% of women don't want to date. Like, yeah, sir, trust me, nobody's going out with you for free food. You guys have told yourself that for so long that you actually believe it's true. It's a waste of my time as an adult woman to go out with somebody that I'm not genuinely interested in for free food. Food, what? The bill is going to be 70, 80 bucks? I would rather pay for, it's like the 50-50 thing. I'd rather pay for everything and be left alone. So if you feel like the weight of patriarchy is too heavy for you now that the economy is economying, like, yeah, you shouldn't be dating at all. Just like give it up. Like some of these men are saying, go patronize your local 304. It's less expensive. You don't have to do mental gymnastics. You don't have to make think pieces about it. You could have sex and move on. To say, oh, I'm going to be financially celibate, and like, sir, you look at the anger in your voice. You sound angry. You sound angry that now that men have made it their mission to be protectors and providers, when we hold you to that standard, it's a problem now because the economy's not good, or you're not making enough money to make that a viable option for you to date multiple women. Just leave us alone. That's it. Leave us alone. Okay, bye.
Financial celibacy exposes an uncomfortable truth. When a man's resources are no longer on the table, a lot of interest disappears with them. And that realization cuts deep. It forces the question no one wants to answer. What's left when the wallet is gone?
So apparently, some guy came up with a new dating concept called financial celibacy.
I 100% agree and approve of this. As a matter of fact, I was the first one to suggest that men should stop breaking a bank, taking a woman out on a date. And let me explain. Let me cook. There are so many videos and so much content of women talking about, like if a man doesn't take her out to like places like Ruth Chris or a 5-star restaurant or a Michelin star restaurant, that he broke. And that a lot of these women have proven time and time again that they're not looking for companionship. They're not looking for a partner. They're looking for a sponsor or trick, right? And I've made mention of this many, many times in regards to a lot of these women will make men jump through hoops and have all of these exorbitant ass standards. And in reality, they don't even like these dudes. And that the man that they really like, the man that they really are attracted to, she will let crack and put through the mattress like a spatchcock chicken for free. As a matter of fact, she'll give him money. So I 100% approve of a man putting himself on a budget, a very strict budget in regards to how much he's willing to spend to go out on a date. The second point that I'm going to make is there are plenty of third spaces where you can take someone on a date that you can pay next to nothing. So please do not believe the hype talking about there are no third spaces. That is complete and total bullshit. Because the people who complain about there are no third spaces are the same individuals that will flake on you, that will ghost you when you invite them out to certain events. Here in Richmond, there are free concerts. There are festivals, especially in the spring and the summertime. The first Friday of every month, there's a thing called First Fridays, where if you are into music, you are into art, you can go out to the arts district and check out different galleries, different exhibits, and all this other stuff. You can actually take a young lady out on a date and spend next to nothing. You just have to be intentional. Now, disclaimer, you pull some bullshit talking about taking a woman out on a restaurant, and when the tab comes in, you don't want to pay it and you expect her to pay. You do that bullshit to me, you will get blocked. Because now you're just being an asshole about it. But given the fact that there are so many dating content creators that is pushing 304 culture, I am a firm believer that you should protect your wallet, because there are women that's trying to play you like a sucker. They're treating you like you're a sponsor or a trick. So protect your interests. If you are dating for the intent of looking for a partner or a spouse, you just have to be a little bit more intentional. And if the chick has a problem with going to a festival or going to a concert that is free, and she expects you to take her out to eat at some 5-star Michelin star restaurant, you already know where she's coming from. You already know where she stands. Do as you wish with this information.
Meanwhile, men are stacking quietly. Saving, investing, building routines, buying peace instead of validation. No dates to fund, no expectations to meet, no one keeping score of what he should provide. Just control. And control is addictive.
Women are starting to see what men have to offer besides sex and money, and it's not much. Most women this day and age can financially support themselves fully and completely. It isn't like back in the day when Pammy Jo and Annie Ann had to rely on you for every single penny they wanted to spend. Men also hate the fact that we're emotional by nature. The epidemic of men wanting traditional women, but do not want to, nor know how to be traditional men themselves, is insane.
So the shaming continues, louder and more desperate, because silence doesn't work on men who already walked away. And in 2026, the most offensive thing a man can do isn't argue. It's choose himself, close his wallet, and remain perfectly content alone.
I think women use shaming tactics on men because, simply put, our ego can't handle their truth. That's it. Our ego can't handle what they're saying, because how it impacts us either makes us less valuable in their eyes, and we don't want to accept that. What they're saying is offensive to us because we know that we're not that. So we find ways to poke holes in their thought processes so that we are somehow more attractive to them or more appealing to them, as if arguing someone's perspective is going to change it. Sometimes it does, but when we're talking about attraction, that goes much deeper. So I think, simply put, women shame men for their perspective simply because it does not work in their favor. And so therefore, we diminish, we disparage, and discredit.
Not because men are wrong, but because men are finally unavailable, emotionally and financially.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.